welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome to The Wave, the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast.
It is indeed.
We're back and we're ready to podcast.
Episode number officially 352.
Really?
Yeah, you know we had somebody to count last week.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody counted.
I love our Discord.
I do as well. Sam Mulholland has counted how many episodes we've done. And not only that, he's counted how many minutes we've recorded for in total and how long it would take you.
You can stat us up.
Yeah. I don't know why I started that without
I presumed you had it ready because that's what you started with.
So apparently so far we've done 220 movie episodes.
Okay.
4 Botsker Award ceremonies.
Okay.
3 season recaps. 8 bonus episodes. And 116 episodes of The Wave.
Lovely.
Which totals 351 episodes. At a total time of 20,258 minutes.
Oh, lovely.
Which is 337.6 hours or 14.07 days.
Oh,
so if you want to listen to us non-stop for 2 weeks, you can do that.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Our shortest episode is 27 minutes long. And that was our second episode.
Well, we didn't know what we were doing then.
We didn't. We don't know what we're doing now. Let's be honest.
Even less.
But our longest episode is 122 minutes long.
Oh,
and that is the first ever Christmas special we did with the Grief Burrito Boys.
Lovely.
Thanks, Sam. That's like...
No, seriously. Thank you.
It's insane that you've taken the time to do that.
Great work.
You also need to keep that up now. You need to keep adding them on, please.
Good. How have you been, Adam?
I've been very well, thank you. I've been off work this week, so I've just had a very nice, chilled, relaxed week doing nothing.
Jealous.
It's been wonderful.
What have you done?
Literally nothing.
Oh.
I put some shelves up in the shed yesterday.
Yeah.
Tidied that up, and that's literally all I've done.
Brilliant.
It's been great.
Have you been gaming? I think
I've been doing a bit of gaming, not as much as I was expecting to do, because I've watched quite a bit of TV instead. But I've done a few little bits. Nothing that's worth talking about, I don't think.
Okay. Fine.
What about you? How have you been?
I last weekend went to do some exercise, and it didn't go very well.
It didn't, did it?
No. Right. So we had a present for Christmas, our family of 4, to go and do Ninja Warrior.
Cool. Yeah.
Which is it's a show that's all over the world, isn't it?
I think so.
They're popping up everywhere now. You'd in warehouses, just go and do the course.
Go and do the course.
And it had
it's like an assault course.
Yeah, basically.
Challenge game, isn't it?
And it was all going really well. We're having a lot of fun until we got to the big wall at the end. You have to run up the wall, get to the top. Did it. Fine. No problem.
Awesome.
But came back round to the bottom. My wife goes, "Oh, you should all just do it again. I'll get it on camera." So my eldest went up. Yeah, fine, no problem. My little one, she did her best. She did really well.
She did really well, to be fair. I've seen the video.
She didn't quite make it. I went, got 2/3 of the way up, felt a pop in my calf, slid back down, and I've barely been able to walk since.
We walked up the stairs to the recording room tonight, and I was like, "Where's he gone?" He was like 10 minutes behind me. Stairs are difficult.
Yeah, they are. On Monday, I went to the walk-in centre.
Yeah.
Which was really ironic because I couldn't fucking walk.
You couldn't walk into the walk-in centre.
Yeah. So it's not been the best week.
Have you been checked out? Are you okay? Are you good?
I have been checked out, and nothing too serious other than, yes, I have, they believe I've torn the calf muscle.
Nasty. It's massive. When you showed it me earlier, I was shocked how big your calf muscle is.
It is quite swollen.
It is very swollen.
Yes, ice putting
baby.
It up.
Does it hurt to touch?
If you touch the top of it, it is incredibly tender.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Does it hurt? It doesn't really hurt all the time. If you turn the wrong way. It's not hurting now.
Right.
No, because I'm in a comfortable position. But yeah, you know about it if you turn the wrong way, and yeah.
Wow.
So I've been limping around. But luckily, that doesn't affect my podcasting ability.
It doesn't. Your mouth is fine, and that is good.
We've got more than that to stop me.
It certainly does. Right. Shall we do a question of the week?
Yeah.
I've got this one.
Just before we do that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
We did have some feedback about last week's question of the week.
Oh, we did.
We?
Yes.
So we mentioned that, which was
the paperclip,
which was the contraband paperclip. Where would you hide it?
Yeah.
And like you have not prepared, so let me find out where the hell it is in the Discord. Wayno in the Discord said, "I would hide the paperclip in an open condiment something thick like mayonnaise.
He was talking about condiments, that boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's the same as the butter, similar to the butter one, isn't it?
Similar to the butter. Smileyton said, similarly, I thought maybe a freshly brewed cup of coffee, which I would slowly drink.
Oh, so while they're searching around his house, he's going to have a cup of coffee on the go.
Yeah.
They're not going to make him spill his cup of coffee, are they?
I don't think so.
Don't know.
I mean, they never do in, like I said last week about the radiator, and you said about the electrical.
But they're never,
sockets.
on the TV, they're never looking for a paperclip.
No, this is true.
So these people are experts in looking for paperclips.
Okay, what's this
Good
week's
answers.
question?
So this week's question is, you've been offered a new job.
Okay.
This job pays you $10,000 a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to do the job entails you must sit alone in a dark room in total silence, and your job is to remove unknown items from a box and place them on a conveyor belt for 8 hours a day. Would you take this job?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of that. Have we got any Netflix news?
How bad can it be?
Oh, 8 hours alone in silence and dark.
I don't know if I do it
gonna
for
mess
very
with your
long.
head.
It doesn't say I have to do it, for the rest of my working life.
No, that's true. You could just do it for a week and take the 10 grand, I guess.
I might do a month.
I'd love being on my own, but I feel like it's the sitting in silence in the dark is odd.
It's more like coming out at the end.
Yeah, your eyes would be crazy.
But would you get used to it? I don't know.
I don't think you'd get used to it. I think it'd drive you insane.
Feels you wouldn't know how long time's passing, would you?
You wouldn't have a clue, and it'd
part.
go so slow.
Yeah,
because it's not even like interesting work. You just put in items.
Get a
on
lunch
the
break.
box. No.
Oh, but legally, I'm entitled to one.
Yeah, but you can't leave the room. The conveyor belt just stops, I guess.
I went
for
to
an
a
hour.
restaurant that was really expensive for the pleasure of doing that once. And now here I get to do it for free every day.
You get paid to do it.
In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I think I'd want to give it a go.
Do it,
but
like you say, but
the
not
more
for
I
very
think
long.
about it, yeah, there's probably much more drawbacks than I'm thinking.
I would worry about getting inside my own head because
Yeah.
it's not a pretty place in there.
Yeah. Would you just slowly unravel?
Would you get home at the end of the day and go, oh, I've done that.
Sounds
I'm really
like a
proud
good
of myself.
reality show.
It does. Didn't they do it with... Didn't Gaza do something similar last
Did
year?
he?
Yeah, they did like a Big Brother in the dark type thing.
Yeah, they might.
I think Chris Eubank was in it with Gaza.
Sounds plausible.
I feel like I'd get home after that first day and be like, oh, I did that. I'm quite proud. But then the thought of having to go back and do it again tomorrow would kill me. Having this week off and the thought of going back next week is killing me, and that's just a normal job.
Because I'm thinking logistically, actually, properly, because if you've got to drive to this place of work to do it,
I guess so.
8 hours in the dark, and then it's not like you can just walk out and then get in your car and drive home.
No, you'd have to reacclimatise yourself.
Yeah, it would take some time, I presume, to
unless it's dark when you finish.
Yeah.
Like if you left now.
Yeah, but even so, we're talking
Pitch dark.
Pitch black.
You don't even know what the items are you're picking up and putting on the conveyor belt. Which I guess gives you something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be just like a head jog, is it?
I wouldn't imagine it'd take you too long to figure out what's in this box, unless they're all different items.
I mean, yeah, maybe. But maybe you'd get like, oh, today you're doing bouncy balls, or
Oh, that'd be a nightmare if you started dropping them.
yeah, exactly. when you get a box of badger's nipples or something.
Ugh. How do you extract a badger's nipple?
I don't know. Maybe it's still attached to the badger.
God, definitely don't want a badger alone in the dark. Badgers can see in the dark. They'd
would
have the one up.
They would have the advantage. Yeah, 100%.
The definitive answer: yes or no.
I'll give it a go. Yeah.
Okay.
Life's all about trying new things, isn't it?
It's true. I'm going with no.
Okay.
Right, should we do some Netflix news?
Yeah, let's
get back onto the normal world.
Bring some sort of real worldness to this. Okay, there's only one place we can start, and that is the sad news this week of the passing of Matthew Perry.
Yeah, really, really sad news.
Of Chandler Bing himself.
Yeah. I knew at some point in my life I was going to have to deal with the passing of friends, but I didn't think it'd be this early on. Not my friends, the friends from Friends.
54.
Literally no age.
Hey.
Such a shame. A real sad loss. He could just never get over those demons he had, could he?
No, I mean, there's been a lot of talk this week, though, hasn't there, about how his memoir, his autobiography, which he wrote, was out
last year.
Yeah, and last year, and I don't know, people get a bit wistful, sort of.
Yeah.
So I've seen a couple of things this year of people who probably don't know what they're talking about. This week, people who probably don't know what they're talking about, saying, "Well, he sort of did he feel like he'd completed his work? He told his story." And,
yeah,
and it's like I think people.
I don't think it works like that.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just really sad.
Yeah, it is. It was shocking. I couldn't believe it when I woke up the other morning and found out. I was devastated.
And I remember a couple of his movies that are not bad as well.
Yeah.
Whole 9 yards. I remember enjoying that.
Yeah.
Which is where he met Bruce Willis, and that he convinced Bruce Willis to come on to Friends to do a guest slot in Friends.
Crazy.
I also heard this week, just to double down on the sad news, there's an interview with one of Bruce Willis's daughters, and she said he is now non-verbal.
Oh dear, that's really bad.
People get old, and it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's not.
That's somebody with that must be devastating for somebody with the personality of Bruce Willis.
Who you just used to seeing as this big, strong. To
just become like a shell of a man.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of, I don't know if it's because in the algorithms or what, but if I've picked up Instagram or had a look on Facebook I've seen so much Matthew Perry.
Yeah,
same. Like clips, bloopers,
loads.
Interviews.
Bits of Friends, outtakes. Yeah, I've seen loads as well. And you do start to sit and watch more because it's like nostalgic, isn't it?
Well, I think we'll talk, our real talk this week is going to be about sitcom performances and characters, and I think all I wanted to say really about Friends and Matthew Perry is that it's I'm aware that Friends has maybe not aged greatly in some ways.
No, that's fair.
But it is a show that is now 30 years old.
Yeah.
And I think what I will say for Friends positively is that it was a phenomenally cast show, and those six just were awesome.
The chemistry
individually,
together.
Yeah. I mean, it helps, doesn't it, when you've got 10 years to hone your character?
Yeah.
But
any two of them could do a scene together, and it just felt natural. It didn't matter which two you picked; it just worked all the time. Yeah, it's a real shame. I always thought they'd get back together one day.
Well, and we'd actually get You'd have thought. The problem is they don't need the money to do that, and
no, they don't.
You'd have thought, there might have been an amount that would have brought them all back together to do it, but how does it? I don't know. Frasier's back, isn't he?
Yes, I've actually watched that this week. That was on my list of things. We'll come to that. I mean, does this spur you on now to do that reunion, or do you draw a line under it now and say no, that's never going to happen? I don't think it is ever going to happen. I don't necessarily think it ever would have, but no, it can't.
I never watched the sort of reunion they did a couple of years ago.
I did.
The sort of touring around the apartment.
Yeah.
Was it good?
It was all right. It was too much James Corden in it.
Yeah, that was the main thing that put me off.
But yeah, it was all right. It was fine.
No, it's really sad.
Sad news.
Rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Next.
Interesting news this week on some details about the success of Netflix's ad-supported subscriber tier.
Okay.
And even more interesting. Well, let's talk numbers first, and then we'll come to sort of the carrot, I guess, that Netflix is giving some of the users. So, Netflix's ad-supported plan is now up to 15 million active users.
Wow.
So, back in May 2023, it was at 5 million.
Oh, wow. So they've done, in 6 months, they've done 10 million more users.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, as you touched on the other week, it clearly shows the crackdown on passwords
It worked.
Doesn't really stop people.
No, it doesn't seem
coming
to have.
back. But really interestingly, Netflix announced in a blog post that starting next year, it will let subscribers who are on the ad-supported plan watch an episode of anything ad-free after they have watched 3 episodes in a row.
Okay, so if you're binging through something, you don't get the ads anymore.
Yeah, every
fourth
episode.
Okay.
Someone's going to come out and go, that's just promoting binge watching TV.
Nothing wrong with that.
But that's weird, isn't it? That's a weird little...
Yeah, that is a weird little thing. Wonder
foible.
Why. Yeah, strange. I thought we was going to say after 3 episodes, you don't get any more ads.
No.
But it's not going to be that. If you watch 6 at a time.
Break from ads.
Yeah, it's just a half an hour break from ads. Yeah, interesting. Weird. That's crazy that they've added that many users, though.
It is, isn't it?
I wonder if it's people, because they don't mention what the other tier. I wonder if it's people downgrading.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's not mentioned. Coming up for Netflix is again Geeked Week.
Okay.
In a few weeks' time, and as part of that, I mean, I'm sure we'll hear more about sort of some of the presentations and the news as that happens. One of the first announcements as part of Geeked Week, is that Netflix is providing free tattoos.
Okay. Why?
Between the 6th and the 12th of November at certain tattoo parlors across the United States. You can apply via geekedinc.com to book a slot for a free tattoo.
Of what?
Well, interesting you mention that, because you can't just go in and choose anything. You have to choose from a set menu of tattoos.
Oh, wow.
And guess what?
They're all Netflix themed.
They're all Netflix themed.
Are they on this site?
They are.
Where?
So if you go to geekedinc.com, you check out the Flash is what you have to do. That will take you to the various locations where you can get a tattoo. There's places in Atlanta, Denver, Los Angeles, Brooklyn. Pick one of those.
Let's go New York.
So we're looking at Fly Right Tattoo. You click check out the Flash, which you have done, and you get your tattoo sheets.
Okay.
So we are currently looking, we'll put some of these in the Discord, at a sheet of tattoo designs from Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
The new animated Scott Pilgrim show. What's that? Oh, it's Love and Robots.
Love and Robots.
Squid Game.
These are also different styles, aren't they? Each sheet is a different style. I mean, I'm not loving the Squid Game tattoos, I've got to say.
No, I'm not. I don't like that style. There's some Black Mirror ones down here as well. I don't like that. There's a pig in there. That's the creepiest. Ultraman ones.
Yeah, that's quite cool. They're a bit manga-ish, aren't they? That's not bad.
Yeah.
What we got here? The Witcher.
Yeah, that's all sorts here.
Avatar, I think, the last Airbender I can spot.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy. Down there at the bottom. Wednesday, Stranger Things. There's plenty of Hellfire Club stuff. Yeah.
Loads of Stranger Things ones. Interesting.
What a gimmick.
I like it.
Get Netflix tattooed on you.
If you had to have a tattoo from a Netflix show, what you having?
That's a very random question.
It fits with what we've just been talking about.
I'll get the one from Bodies, where they've just got the mark on their wrist.
That's a good one. That would be a good one. Just the
three
tally
lines. Chart.
I like that. That's good.
Because that's not... No one's going to go. That's from that thing on Netflix. Not specifically.
No, true.
They might get there eventually. I don't want a big red Scott Pilgrim Takes Off tattoo. Put it on.
Not really. No, you wouldn't have it for a show that's not even out yet. What if it's just rubbish?
Yeah, exactly.
What if it's just rubbish? I'd have something from Schitt's Creek, but I don't know what it'd be.
Go and check out geekedinc.com.
Definitely.
If that interests you. There might be a few slots left. But I wouldn't guarantee it.
No.
Also, this week, Netflix has added some small, short documentaries about DVDs.
Right.
And Netflix's DVD rental service.
Oh, which they've just recently shut down.
A sort of look, a fond look back.
Oh, okay.
At sort of, some of the work they used to do there, how sort of the company developed. You can't watch these on Netflix though.
Right.
You have to go to dvd.com.
Well, that's the old Netflix rental site. Yeah. Yes.
They have kept it alive, and it is now full of lots of little, I guess, like a mini YouTube.
Okay.
Of short documentaries about Netflix and DVDs.
Okay, sounds fun.
If you want to while away an hour or so, yeah. There's a behind the scenes documentary and over a dozen short movies. Videos of people talking about their DVD stories. Yeah.
Wow, okay, interesting.
Along with the documentary, the site has a section that highlights user memories as shared by subscribers.
Cool.
Yeah, so dvd.com is not going anywhere just yet.
Head on over. Next
piece of Netflix news is a cancellation.
Oh, okay.
News that Wellmania will not return for a second season.
Oh, that's a shame. That was good.
We both watched this.
We did, yeah.
Which was
I'd forgotten about it.
Yeah, me too. But I enjoyed it while I watched it. It was would you say sitcom?
Yeah.
I would say limited series starring Celeste Barber, who's an Australian stand-up comedian, and yeah, I liked it as well.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, it will not be returning. She posted an update on Instagram. She broke the news, Celeste Barber. She said, she revealed that the show will not be returning for a second season and said, Netflix has told me it's something about numbers. I thought we smashed it, but I don't understand how it works. I would like to thank everyone for the love and support around the show. It was so fun. We had an excellent time, and the way it was received was very overwhelming. I am bummed that I can no longer explore the excellent character of Liv Healy, and I know a lot of you saw yourselves in the character and wanted to see more. But this industry is kind of bullshit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is.
I mean, I don't know. I've got a feeling we might not have seen the last of that one. It feels like something that could get picked up elsewhere.
Yeah, it really does. You're right.
Because it was a funny show.
It was really fun. She was great in it as well.
Yeah.
It feels like it was a long time ago, but I don't think it was.
Yeah.
It feels like... Oh, that is a shame.
Let's see what happens.
Let's keep
I don't know. I've just got an inkling.
Okay.
Maybe. News this week. We already knew that... So, the movie Fall...
Yes.
Which, over here in the UK... I think we discussed before. It didn't have a cinematic release, but it gained a real big following on Netflix.
Yeah, it really did.
And it hung around, if you will, at the top of the charts for a long time. We mentioned that a sequel had already been commissioned.
Yep.
Well, news this week that a threequel has also been commissioned.
Oh, really?
So there are now 2 sequels greenlit.
Right.
For Fall.
That's strange.
I think one of them will be a cliffhanger.
Nice.
Overkill?
Is that a bit overkill?
Does it feel a bit overconfident?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really feel like it needed a sequel. Let alone a threequel.
Yeah, productions company Capstone Studios has greenlit 2 movies. Yeah.
Wow.
It earned $20 million in the US on its cinematic release and on a $3 million budget. Obviously became a massive hit over here on Netflix and also around the world. Yeah, 2 sequels.
2 sequels to.
That's very interesting.
Some people climbing up a pole. Are they just going to climb up other stuff, or
I don't know.
Some people going to go back up that? No, did that fall down at the end?
Scott Mann, who wrote and directed the first, is coming back to produce the second.
Okay.
But will direct the third, according to the Hollywood Reporter.
Interesting.
The Hollywood Reporter also say the plan at the minute is for the follow-up is to bring back original characters from the first film while also leaving room for new ones to be introduced. That's kind of how sequels work.
Yep.
Scott
there's only 2 characters in it.
Mann himself said, "I am thrilled to be continuing the Fall journey and taking it to the next level. We've got a really special cinematic experience planned. And I'm immensely grateful for my fellow producers for backing the vision. I'm excited to be working with new collaborators as well as reuniting with the original gang. I can't wait to be back filming thousands of feet up. Fall 2 is scheduled to shoot starting in June."
Hopefully, if we're still working by June.
Yeah.
Not sure.
3D, anyone?
Full 3D?
Yeah.
I'm surprised. There should be like a VR experience. That'd be good.
Yeah. I feel it's got to be a gimmick.
There's got to be a gimmick. You can't just go up something high again. We've seen that before.
Go higher. I mean, Tom Cruise does that in every movie.
Yeah.
He just climbs high stuff. Okay, other movie news. News this week that Jason Statham has signed on to the next movie in the pipeline from director David Ayer, who you might most know for Fury, or the non-James Gunn Suicide Squad. They worked together on The Beekeeper, recently, but they are going to continue their partnership on an upcoming action movie called Levon's Trade.
Okay.
Interestingly, the script for this movie has been written by none other than Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, interesting. That's weird.
Sylvester Stallone, this is before our time, people. I always forget that he is Oscar nominated.
Yeah.
He was Oscar nominated for writing Rocky, obviously. He also scripted Rambo, Last Blood, most recently. Levon's Trade is adapted from a novel by an author called Chuck Dixon.
Good name. Strong American name.
And in fact, there are 11 books in the Levon Cade series.
Right.
Stallone's production company had apparently previously developed this franchise as a TV series, but it is now going to the cinema.
Cool.
This movie will chart how Levon Cade, played by Jason Statham, leaves his black ops days behind him to work in construction. He wants to live a simple life and be a good father to his daughter. Stop me if you think you've heard this before. But when his boss's teenage daughter Jenny vanishes, he is called upon to re-employ the skills that made him a legendary figure in his previous gig. The hunt for the missing college student takes him deep into the heart of a sinister criminal conspiracy, creating a chain reaction that would threaten his new way of life.
Yeah, that's just a standard synopsis for a Jason Statham movie.
Does it feel like David Ayer and Sylvester Stallone are a bit above this?
Yeah.
Maybe not so much Jason Statham.
No, that's what Jason Statham does. It's his stock and trade. I mean...
Look, they've got their own franchise, haven't they?
If Stallone's going to write a script, then that's the script he's going to write.
I guess.
So, yeah, they've got their right, like you say, they've got their own franchise. And why not? All power to them. They've got nothing against any of those 3 people.
11 movies, maybe. Maybe.
I don't know if... I can't say that.
Kind of ageless Jason Statham, isn't it? I reckon it's the look.
Yeah.
Because he's never had hair or anything.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Who isn't ageless, though, is Stallone.
I think you
as much as he's trying
until you hit about...
As much as he's trying to be ageless, he's struggling.
I mean, there's a lot of filler in that picture of Sylvester Stallone, isn't there?
Yeah.
I know it's an easy joke, but he has got those permanently surprised eyebrows.
I feel like Vincent Price wants his eyebrows back. Good for them. Yeah. There'll always be room for action movies.
You know, last week we talked about Mike Flanagan's Stephen King adaptation.
Yes.
Is it Life of Chuck?
Yep.
Is that what it's called? And how we had questions why this and a few other projects have interim agreements, in inverted commas, with SAG-AFTRA, which enables them to keep filming.
Yes.
Well, I have found another example of this.
Okay.
And I have a slight explanation.
Okay, interesting.
The movie I'm talking about sounds like quite an interesting one. It is just wrapped filming last week, and it is called Death of a Unicorn.
Okay.
It's cast. It's an A24 movie.
Oh, now I'm excited.
As well, by the way. The cast. Jenna Ortega.
Nice.
I mean, she's pretty in vogue at the minute.
She's in everything.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, cool.
Will Poulter.
Nice.
Tia Leone.
Nice.
And Richard E. Grant.
Wow.
Are all in Death of a Unicorn.
It's very Marvel heavy.
It's written and directed by a chap called Alex Sharfman. It's his feature film debut. And it's a dark comedy. Death of a Unicorn follows a father, Paul Rudd, and his daughter, Jenna Ortega,
okay,
who accidentally hit a unicorn while driving to a work summit.
Right.
The company seizes the unicorn, and their scientists discover that its body contains magical properties which they seek to exploit.
Sounds interesting.
Feels a bit... I don't know. I feel just from that, I'm thinking like a kind of 80s ET type vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? Maybe it'll be weirder. It's A24.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, it'll be weird.
Why has this movie been able to keep rolling? Well,
tell me, Nick.
That is because A24 is not part of the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers.
Okay.
So, they were granted a SAG-AFTRA interim waiver.
Right.
Because they're not part of...
No, I get it. The studio are not part of it. But the actors are.
Yeah.
It just feels wrong.
I don't disagree with you.
It feels wrong.
It feels very loopholey, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's like studios are trying to find loopholes.
Especially if, like, I'm not saying... Yes, I won't say a name. But say someone from that movie is like at work, I don't know, say they're on set for 3 days.
Yeah.
And do they then go to the picket line?
That's exactly. It just feels grubby. It feels like you're letting down everybody else that you... This isn't about the high-earning Hollywood actors like Paul Rudd and Will Poulter and Jenny Ortega. This is about the lower level actors who aren't getting work and aren't being allowed to go to work. And it feels like you're not standing by them. I might be completely wrong, but that's just how it looks and how it feels.
Yeah, it does. When and I think this is real on the down low, isn't it? Like, this isn't...
It seems to be.
I don't feel this has been picked up.
The media are not reporting this.
Yeah, there are still, there is still stuff rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mm.
All those other unicorns holding up those signs. And this guy...
Well, this guy's dead.
Yeah, but if he's a good actor, this unicorn...
Getting out there working.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
We know they've just put a cornetto on a horse.
I hope so. That'd be amazing. Imagine if that's the twist at the end of the movie.
Okay, a couple more bits of news. You might like this is our Stephen King news for the week.
Excellent.
And that is a report that sources have told to Variety that Warner Brothers is looking to jettison Salem's Lot. It's reimagining of Salem's Lot away from a cinematic release, and it could arrive straight on Max instead.
Okay.
I didn't realise that this movie had such a difficult journey.
It's been in development hell.
Yeah. Apparently, it's basically been finished for a year.
Yeah.
And the source told Variety, well, I like how this is put, a source with knowledge of this back and forth says that the move would not be a reflection of the film's quality.
I think it will.
But it would be due to the fact that the ongoing strike has created a growing need for new content for the streaming service.
Yeah, it's easy to say that.
And this is one of the few films essentially ready to go. A Warner Brothers spokesperson said, no decision has yet been made about the film's distribution plans. Yeah, this shot in 2021 and was initially intended to be released in September 2022, last Halloween.
Wow.
And it's not happened. It was pushed to spring this year, and earlier this month was moved off the schedule altogether. It doesn't have a cinematic release date currently.
I've had half an eye on this for the last few years, and it does feel like this is a quality thing. Because at one point it was coming out cinema, and then once it was finished, it got shelved completely. It was taken off all the radar.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. If you've got a movie pretty much ready to go, you're getting it out into the cinema.
Yeah,
and because it doesn't matter, you can still put it on your streaming service a few weeks later. That doesn't bother Disney.
What also worries me is that Stephen King has seen this movie.
Oh, has he? Oh, are you looking for a tweet?
I found a tweet. I've seen it earlier today, so I was like, I'll find that. Usually when Stephen King watches something that's based on his work, he's very, very positive about it.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really care. He sells the works for very little amount of money, and he doesn't really care what people say. This one, he says, it feels like a horror movie version of a slow burn movie like The Great Escape. It builds very well. There are diversions from the book I don't agree with, but on the whole, faithful.
Okay.
Now, that's not a positive review from a man who's normally very positive about this sort of thing.
It's quite a diplomatic review.
That's what it feels like. It feels like somebody said to him, you've got to say something about it. I'm not convinced by this. It's a really tough book to adapt anyway.
Yeah. It's one of my favourite books.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite books. I've read it a good few times. Yeah. But I'll still be watching it the first day I'm able to.
Well, we will...
So you can await my review.
We will update people when we know where and when this is landing, if that does happen. Okay. And then the final piece of news this week is some news on an upcoming Star Wars.
Oh, no, Star Wars, singular.
Yeah. Because it is it'll probably end up being a trilogy, won't it? Because that's what happens with these things. I think we've mentioned this in the past. There's a whole map laid out for what's happening with Star Wars in the future. So I think they're doing a movie which is going to culminate like The Mandalorian and all that sort of stuff. I think they're doing one which goes back in time to how Jedi were invented or made or whatever happened. But this news surrounds the Daisy Ridley Star Wars movie, which is essentially going to carry on the last trilogy, I guess, which will be set 15 years after the events of The Rise of Skywalker, and a Reddit leak from a user who has apparently a very good track record previously with all things Star Wars.
Okay,
is claiming that this new movie has a title,
right,
and has gathered pace because obviously script writers are back at work.
Yep.
And this new movie will potentially be called Star Wars: A New Beginning. I'm not sure if I'm buying it because it sounds very generic.
Very generic.
But yeah, this movie is now being written by Stephen Knight, and interestingly, he has stepped into the fray to write this Star Wars movie because none other than Damon Lindelof has departed the project.
Right, okay.
He was asked to leave by Lucasfilm due to growing creative differences.
That's unusual to hear of Lindelof getting creative differences with people.
He's always wanted to do a Star Wars.
Yeah, he has.
I don't know if he was involved in the JJ ones. I don't know if he had he might have had a partial credit.
Probably,
I'm not sure.
Probably.
But yeah, he's off this one.
I'm just not interested in Star Wars. It just doesn't interest me anymore. I feel like there's just flogging a dead horse.
It feels like, doesn't it, that the shines off these things. I think Marvel as well. I read something earlier today about, again, you can go and find it if you want. I didn't highlight it for news because it was massive. There's like a report that's come out on allegedly, again, an insider sort of basically saying that Marvel wishes it hadn't signed up to do so many Disney Plus series because it's really affected the quality of the movies, really? And there's all the Jonathan Majors stuff going on, which is giving them pause to stop and potentially reconsider their direction. And it just feels like they've just lost momentum. Marvel, completely. Star Wars, completely. Maybe them all going away for 20 years wasn't a bad thing. I don't know.
But it's not going to happen now, is it? They're not going to go away anymore. No. They're just here.
Yeah. That's your Disney money, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah. Cool. Well, more Star Wars news as we get it, if we get it. Any more news?
That's all the news.
Cool. Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I haven't watched too much this week, but I can think of something I've watched. I've started season 2 of Welcome to Wrexham.
Okay. I've not done season 2 yet.
Yeah. I've watched, I think, the first 3 or 4. And yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's still just like, it's sweet, isn't it? And
yeah.
The best episode I've seen so far is kind of, I guess if it was a sitcom, you'd call it a bit of like a bottle episode or a step away from the main storyline, because you go back into season 2, so you get a recap of them failing to get promoted last year, and sort of here we go, we're doubling down, we're going again, new signings, this is where we start from. So that's the first couple of episodes. King Charles comes to visit.
I remember when that happened.
So there's quite a bit on that, and then there's a couple of really nice episodes. One's about how the club works with fans with disabilities.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really sweet. And then they do a whole episode on the girls and women's football team.
Okay.
And I thought I was really, again, it was one of the longer episodes, that one, and 35, 40 minutes long. But by the end of it, I was like, God, I think I support Wrexham women's football team.
Well, if you're going to pick a women's team.
It's really invested.
Good.
And they basically condensed their season into this one episode. Like, will they win the league? Will they front? And it was like, and they're playing on some, even their home Wrexham pitch.
So they don't play in the stadium?
No, I think they took them there a couple of times, but no, week in, week out, they're on this bog.
Oh,
and even Rob McElhenney goes to watch them, and he's like, "This is no, we're gonna help you out."
Okay, cool.
So like, get out of this league, get into the women's Welsh Premier League, and
we'll put some money into it.
Yeah, we'll double down, and yeah, it was really interesting.
Okay, I might check it out. I don't know why I never went to it. I really enjoyed season 1. I'll get.
I feel like it's. I think it's been out for quite a while.
Yeah, it has.
Because they're releasing episodes weekly, but there's loads. I think it's about 8 episodes, so it must have been on Disney Plus for a while. So, cool. How about you?
I finished Bodies.
Oh, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Really good. Yeah, really good fun. I think the end was quite convoluted. There was a lot going on. It was like, you're starting to lose me a little bit here because I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I think I was fine with the actual end, and then the end was they tacked on. Like I said,
it's just how it all worked really played with my mind.
Yeah,
I didn't stop thinking about it for a few days, so that must be good. I thought the kid who played the younger Stephen Graham, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, he was.
He played it really well.
I do feel, now you've watched it, I mean, I'll go a bit spoilery here. The one thing that did annoy me, I go and watch Bodies. It's a strong recommendation for me. They just ignore the tacked on ending that Netflix made them put on at the end, which is like a tease in case they decide they want to do another series. They just left one character. Like, they just left her in that prison.
Yeah, completely.
And you never
That's true. They did.
She was just left to die. I presume left to die.
Just left
you didn't
her to
see
die.
her end.
That's true. She didn't get an ending.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the plan for the next season if there is one. I kind of hope there isn't one. It feels like a limited series, one and done. It wouldn't work to keep bringing it back. No,
it's a good, stupid, fun, high concept.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Agreed. I have started a few things this week as well.
Okay.
I've started Big Mouth season 7.
Yep.
I thought this was the final season of Big Mouth, but apparently not.
No, there's one more, isn't there?
One more, 8th. I think. I feel like the joke's overdone now, but I feel like I'm so far in, I need to stay with it. I don't really know why, because there's not really any like ongoing story. But I don't know. I just feel like it's fine. It's not the show it used to be.
Okay.
I also started The Changeling on Apple TV.
Right.
I've done the first 2 episodes, and so it hasn't really started yet.
Remind me what The Changeling is.
It's a very slow burn. It's set in a alternate New York, and it's the story of it's a love story of a man falling in love with a librarian, and they have a baby. And at some point, the lady and the baby are going to get kidnapped, and he's going to chase through this magical world to rescue them. Okay. But that hasn't happened yet. Okay. So I'm literally just watching the love story at the minute. So I will let you know as that progresses if I'm going to stick with it or not. Okay. And I also started, as I mentioned earlier, I started Frasier, the new season of Frasier. Nice. Just because I wanted something.
I used to love Frasier.
So I was interested to see if it works. Yeah. And it does. It's funny. It feels weird to revive a show and only bring one character back. Yeah. Because none of the rest of the cast are coming.
But that's what Frasier was.
Yeah, it was.
Because he was
the guy from Cheers who moved on. But nobody else is back. Yeah. It's just him. Studio sitcoms feel a bit old school now. There's like there's a live audience laugh track on it, and it just feels weird. You just don't really see it anymore. So it took me a while to get used to that. But the jokes are good. Kelsey Grammer's great, and the new cast are really funny. Okay. So I'm in board. There's only been 4 episodes on so far. Okay. I think the 5th one's out today, in fact. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been all right. Cool. But there's only one show I need to talk to you about this week. Okay. Because you and everybody listening needs to stop everything they're doing and go and watch Last Stop Larimer.
Okay, what the hell's that?
If Netflix had done this properly, this could be the next Tiger King. Right. And I don't say that lightly. Okay. Last Stop Larimer is a 2-episode true crime documentary set in the Northern Territories of Australia. Right. There is a town called Larimer. 11 people live there. Brilliant. That is it. 11 people live in this town. There is a bar that doubles as a hotel, that triples as a zoo.
Oh, brilliant.
There's a pie shop at the other end of town. Yeah. And 11 people live in this town. One day, one of them goes missing. Uh-huh. A nationwide manhunt starts, and it turns out that every single person in this town fucking despise each other.
I suppose you would.
They absolutely hate each other, all of them. And the cast of characters that this show has is unbelievable. It's only 2 episodes. It's only 2 hours long. This guy, 78, I think he is, one day leaves the bar on his quad bike to go back to his caravan. Yeah. Never seen again. Every one of them thinks another one of them's done it. Yeah. And one of them definitely has done it because there's nobody else in this town. And there's nobody else for miles around. Yeah. When they go shopping...
I bet they've all got a reason to it.
They've all got a motive, and they've all got alibis from each other. Yeah. Because some of them get on with others and some won't. And there's... The woman in the pie shop definitely has done it, in my opinion. But there's no big reveal at the end. This is still an ongoing, unsolved case in Australia. But it is amazing.
That sounds incredible.
The cast of characters, right? There's the woman who runs the pie shop is in her 70s. She used to be married to the bloke.
How many is the pie shop woman?
They do the whole Sweeney Todd. The whole Sweeney Todd thing is there. One bloke is absolutely convinced that the bloke is in the pies. Yeah. But one of the other blokes is convinced that he was fed to the crocodile that lives in this zoo. When I say zoo, it's a crocodile. There's nothing else. There's a man who's got a crocodile, fucking massive crocodile. One of them's convinced that this guy's been fed to this crocodile. They're all adamant that each other's done it, and it's fucking brilliant. The guy who lives next door to the pie shop used to be married to the woman who runs the pie shop, but hasn't spoken to her for 2 years, even though he lives next door in a town of 10 people. You need the subtitles on because he's had cancer of the throat and tongue, so he can't talk properly, and he looks like a walking skeleton. He's the thinnest man you'll ever see, and he just wears this blue vest, and his arm, you can see the bones in his arms. Yeah. I would go and watch it again. It's only 2 episodes long.
That sounds insane.
If Netflix marketed that properly, they could have literally had another Tiger just from the
maybe
cast
there's
of
just
characters.
Not quite enough story there.
There's not. That's the problem.
Because it's not like Netflix where you do 2 episodes.
It's only 2 episodes because there isn't enough story there. There isn't enough story there because there's no resolution to it. But things do progress as the 2 episodes go along. You learn things as you go through. Yeah. And the filmmakers learned stuff as they went through. Some audio tapes come out, and it turns out they were bugging the police were bugging this one guy's caravan, and It takes the police an hour and a half to get there every time they get called.
Amazing.
When you go shopping, it's 9 hours because the nearest city is 200 miles away, and they've all got these old utes that they drive, and they have to go to when they need to go shopping. It's a whole day.
So what's the point in the town? Was it like an old mining?
No, it used to be a truck stop, not a truck stop, but like a stop in the road to Darwin.
Yeah.
But then as trucks and cars got bigger fuel tanks, they could just drive straight through. They didn't need to stop anymore. So there's archive footage because somebody made a documentary about it years ago. So there's a load of old archive footage of these people who lived there then and still live there now.
Yeah.
And it was a much bigger town then. It was more, they used to have an annual cricket tournament and all this, and people used to come from miles around. But then people just stopped coming.
Wow.
And it's insane. It's insane. Dom Jolly went there once. There's an episode of Trigger Happy TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They show that scene. But honestly, stop everything you're watching and just go and watch 2 hours of Last Stop Larimer. It's brilliant. It is in the Netflix top 10 at the minute, so people are watching it. But
cool.
Yeah, I'm really, I've even told my mum and dad to go and watch it just for these characters. You won't believe some of the stuff that comes out. I promise you. But that's all I've watched, I think.
Brilliant.
Shall we?
You've sold me.
Definitely go and watch it. Shall we do a real talk and then get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
What was this week's real talk? Nicholas?
This week's real talk was simply in honor of Matthew Perry.
Yeah, definitely.
Who's your favourite sitcom actor/actress?
Yeah, simple as that.
Yeah,
it's a tough question. This.
There are so many suggestions.
There are so many,
and I don't even know who I would pick. I will pick as my official suggestion.
Nor do I. I'll just run through some.
Shall I reel some off?
Go for it.
Do you like that?
Real talk.
First to respond in the Discord was Wayno, who said Nick Offerman as Ron Swanson in Parks and Recreation. I think it's an incredible character, and Offerman plays him brilliantly. I'd like to mention Brett Goldstein as Roy Kent, John C. McGinley as Dr. Perry Cox, and pretty much anyone in the main cast of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All great shouts. I've never seen Parks and Rec, but other than that, I think they're all great shouts.
I haven't either.
Just never watched it.
I just need to break the two that I have never checked out that everyone raves about: Parks and Rec, and
It's Always Sunny.
It's Always Sunny in
Same.
Philadelphia.
I've never done either.
Well, no, It's Always Sunny. I have watched about maybe I've watched the first season.
Okay.
And I am aware that is a very different show to what it is.
Yeah, you can't judge any sitcom on its first season.
It's yeah. So I might try and carry on breaking that wall down.
I'd like to, but I know I never will.
Ross Cook says, I've got a top 5.
Of course you have.
Rowan Atkinson in Blackadder.
That's a wonderful shout. That would be one of mine.
Yeah. Is Blackadder a sitcom?
Yes.
I guess it is.
It is. It's a bunch of characters in a situation.
Donald Glover in Community.
Yeah, good answer.
Dan Levy in Schitt's Creek. Julia Louis-Dreyfus in both Seinfeld and Veep. And Bryan Cranston in Malcolm in the Middle.
Good answer. I wouldn't have considered that.
I'd like to do a rewatch of Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, knowing what Cranston became and then going back and watching that.
Both the parents in that, I think they're great performances, though. Yeah. Alex in the Discord says, great ones mentioned already. A couple from me. Brian Potter in Phoenix Nights.
Yeah.
David Brent, UK Office. Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. And Nick Miller from New Girl.
All great answers. Absolutely great. One of them would be my answer as well. One of my answers.
I didn't know you liked Modern Family that much.
I do enjoy Modern Family. It's not what I was thinking of.
Ross Cook came back with, can I also add Alan Partridge and Bernard Black?
Yes.
Black Books.
You absolutely can.
I mean, Alan Partridge is just...
Can you even call that a sitcom character anymore? Is that just not a character now?
Yeah.
He's done so much stuff. And it's been around for so long. It's almost like a human.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole kind of gag, wasn't it? Coogan was like, I need to come up with something that people kind of might go, oh, Because when it started as a chat show, a spoof chat show, I need a name that is like, I think I've heard of that guy.
Yeah.
And it's
the same as
part of the genius of it.
Same as what Lee Francis did with Keith Lemon, isn't it? He became that character for a long time.
There's a shout for Cam from Modern Family. Sam in the Discord has said, might be recency biased as I've just finished a Ghost rewatch, but I love Jim Howick as Pat. Ghosts
is a great shout, and he is brilliant in it. But the lady ghost, the older lady ghost, is the best one in Ghost.
Michael Scott from the US office. Neil Patrick Harris as Barney Stinson in How I Met Your Mother. And Ross Cook's final nomination is Zero Calcare from Tear Along the Dotted Line. I'm not sure who voiced
I don't know.
The Italian version. But I'm not sure.
It's a really tough one.
I've got loads.
I could talk for hours on it. I grew up in a household that we just watched sitcoms all the time.
Well, I mean, we've just mentioned
Frasier, Friends, Cheers.
Yeah.
All the British ones. I think I've watched every single British sitcom. From when I was a kid. That's all we watched.
Even The Upper Hand.
Yeah, I used to watch The Upper Hand. 2.4 Children. I used to watch loads.
Yeah, they were not great.
Royal Family.
A couple that sprung to mind for me were, I started thinking, well, what sitcoms do I really like that maybe don't get as much mention on the show or in the Discord? And I was like, we never really talked about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
That's true. We've never really talked about Curb.
Everyone in that is great. But I mean, I particularly like JB Smoove, who plays Leon Black, and Susie Essman, who plays Susie Green. I just think they're amazing. I thought Will Arnett in Arrested Development.
Yeah.
But again, you could pick several people from that cast. I don't know. I don't know who I would
really
single out.
It is really hard.
What's some of yours?
I think it was Ross mentioned Bernard Black from Black Books.
Yeah.
But I would go with Bill Bailey's character from Black Books.
Okay.
I think he's great in that.
Manny.
Both,
again, all three of them are they're playoff.
Absolutely. And I was just going to say the same thing about the IT Crowd. All three of them.
Yeah.
Along with Matt Berry as well. They're all brilliant in the IT Crowd. You can't not mention David Jason in Only Fools and Horses. You just can't. He's just brilliant in that all the way through. And I have to say it because it's on in my mum and dad's house 24/7. 24/7. It's always.
Imagine.
If you go around that house now, one of them will be watching it.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
I'll give one of mine as a bit of an unsung hero.
Go on.
Is again, it might not have aged the best, but Spaced.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But I'm not going with Simon Pegg or Nick Frost because I actually think Jessica Hines / Stevenson. Is
brilliant.
The glue in that
completely.
And she's who I would highlight in Spaced.
Spaced is such an underrated sitcom as well. Nobody ever talks about it, and it's that first episode of Spaced is fantastic. But it's such a tough question. There could be 100. We've not even mentioned anybody from Friends.
No, and well, apart from right at the start of the show, but they're all
wonderful,
awesome, and they all have. I always find it really tough. We because of what's happened this week, me and my wife were talking about Friends a bit, and she was like, "Oh, Chandler was always my favourite."
Yeah,
and I said, "Do you know what? I think he was mine to start with because he was almost the way in, the funny one. He had all the lines, and then I remember as Friends went more and more through, I was like, actually, he might have dropped right down to the.
Oh really?
Yeah, not that he was bad, but I was like, I definitely preferred the other two guy characters by the end, and
I think it's difficult with Friends because you could have a different favourite character in every episode.
Yeah, 100%.
Because they're all great in all of them. So it's really tough.
Very interchangeable, but yeah, no, there's some great shouts there.
Frasier,
yeah,
Frasier's brother Niles, he's brilliant. Ted Danson in Cheers was great.
Yeah,
you could go on forever. I could go on forever just talking about British sitcoms without even getting into any American ones. Victoria Wood in Dinner Ladies is a fantastic.
Dinner Ladies is that's a bit performance. Pulled out of nowhere. Yeah, it's a good show.
It was. There's so many good sitcoms. If you pushed me to pick one, I'd struggle to look past Don Levy and Schitt's Creek, I
think. But if you yeah, but I'd say he's got so much competition just in that show.
No, he has completely. But he's the star.
It doesn't work without. Yeah, but you
doesn't
take
work without all of them.
Yeah, you take any one of the other three away, and they're all.
Yeah.
They're a unit, aren't they?
That's why I struggle to say David Jason, because he doesn't work without Nicholas Lyndhurst, who, by the way, is brilliant in this new Frasier.
Is he?
Yeah, really good. Yes. He's been the highlight of it so far.
That feels like a good fit.
Yes, it does.
Into that world, Nicholas Lyndhurst.
It does. It's the first thing he's done for ages.
Yeah.
Good Night, Sweetheart. Do you remember that? That was a great one.
Was it good? I remember. I remember
my
it.
brother's
I
favourite. I bet you that my brother. You've asked my brother his favourite sitcom. He'd say that.
Really?
Yeah, he loved it.
Yeah.
Cool. Good answers, everybody. Thanks for getting involved.
Good real talk.
What are we watching on this week's movie show, Nick?
You should come back to this very feed on Thursday because you will find our movie show. And this week we are talking about a wildcard pick.
We are. Jordan Shenton's wildcard pick.
Yeah, the penultimate wildcard played this season. And it's a movie called To the Bone.
Yes.
A drama. Definitely a drama.
100% a drama. I don't think you can give it any other
starring Lily Collins.
Yes.
And Keanu Reeves.
And Keanu Reeves randomly is in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not the usual fun fare that we usually do, but we'll still get through it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know if it's any good and if you should watch it.
Sure will.
So come back to see us on Thursday.
Yeah. We'll see you there.
We will.
Cheers.
Bye.